It is September 6th, 2018. We are looking at the daily chart of Bank of America. First, we'll switch back to the XLF. What we're seeing is a bid starting to pick up in financials. XLF is looking to break this resistance point here, 2870 roughly. It is starting to pick up on the momentum and on the daily and the hourly. So I am looking to put on a trade today with the BAC. Definitely gaining some momentum. We're seeing some buying pickup down here. Definitely some momentum on the daily and hourly. And this should be a decent swing trade to take place with the September 14th expiry. 31.5 shouldn't be a problem. You can actually load up and just have these as a peace of mind, because everything's looking a little bit chaotic in other areas. As of right now, 8:49, about 45 minutes before the bell opens here on Thursday, S&P E-minis are up a point, NASDAQ is up about 3, and the Dow is up about 26. So we're looking at a really flat opening, especially with all the chaos, I would say, that took place yesterday with the sell-off, major sell-off of the FANG stocks. So this market's really going to look for some ground to hold on to. Also, we're entering into the September month, which is usually a little bit less action taking place. You're seeing a lot more of the major players come in and some selling, which leads into the end of the year run up. So definitely the Bank of America is one good trade. I'm also looking at industrials, which picked up a major bid yesterday. You can see the Fibonacci on the screen there, but we'll just look at the moving averages, which it's just yesterday moved above the 8 EMA. So you have this rising flag pattern forming. Once it breaks this about 78 area, you can see a nice breakout, and you're seeing a little bit of the volume pickup. And just earlier this week, we saw Boeing pick up. If I scroll in here, zoom in, I should say, and let me just adjust everything. You can see that it has this breakup candle. So it's going to move higher once it picks up a bid, ideally to the 618 retracement, but it's going to hit a lot of resistance on the way up. So I have this marked off at about 350, 349. Make a nice scalp trade today. Quick day trade right off the bell. Going to see the direction that the market is going, and then put my trade on there. But as of right now, we're looking at Boeing closing at 346. Right now it's at 348. So let's just open this up. We got momentum working in our favor on the hourly and 10-minute. So any kind of pullback right off the bell would be a great spot to jump in. Also, what I'm looking at too is some of the pot stocks. Unfortunately, it looks like they're starting to fade. This Kronos closed at 12:45. As of right now, half hour before the opening, it's sitting at 1183. So it's starting to fade, but we just did get a TLRY downgrade. So let me just open up this with the extended hour portion, and you can see it's starting to fade. But it is resting on that, it's a breakdown candle, weekly, high volume breakdown candle for the weekly. So it's sitting right there, hasn't broke through it yet. It held above it yesterday when it came down right off the bell and bounced. Got a nice run up from 11.8 to 13.1. So if it can stay above this, it's looking good. But if it breaks down below this 11.8 area, it might be time to just cut your losses. Because once you hit that, it's going to run to this, looks like 11.14 area, this consolidation period. And if it drops below that, it's lights out. You're looking to lose some serious money, especially if you're playing options, which this one does have a lot of liquidity in the options. So you're not seeing these wide spreads like you do in CGC and TLRY. So definitely on the menu for today, and especially if it gets that hype bid, because that's really what it's all about. It's kind of that Bitcoin feel where people just jump in and just start loading up if they see it move, because it did get some wild moves, especially here pre-market yesterday. Got this run up because there was some news on it. 12 to 2-point move on a 14-point stock. That's significant. But definitely buyer beware, due diligence, and look at it's even breaking below it pre-market. So we'll see where it ends up today. It's feast or famine on this one. So if you have some money to some FU money to spend on it, then go ahead and put it down and let it ride. Definitely a lot of risk. We're going to look at also the SMH, because that is definitely in a consolidation pattern. With yesterday's pullback, we might actually see a little bit of a bounce. Again, you have this run up here, consolidation. So it's just looking for that one strike to run higher. I have my alert set at 109.77. But we're definitely seeing some strength pre-market in NVDA and AMD, which were up. Let me just double check on these, because they were up, but now it looks like AMD is starting to fade here just a little. But if we see a breakout in the break up in AMD or NVIDIA, we can definitely see SMH move, and then we'll be in a good spot. And again, you have NVIDIA sitting in this run up here, this huge run up, almost 40 points, and then this consolidation. So it's, we have Canada and U.S. working on the trade deal. Trump is still threatening the China tariffs, so these things are going to affect the market in intraday aspects, because it just takes one tweet that I've seen, and it moves the market in a fashion that really no one likes to see. So you just got to stay aware. I mean, if you're fortunate enough to sit here and stare at the screen all day, then you can definitely play it by ear, but definitely keep your stops tight. And we definitely have some options, especially with the huge sell-off in the NASDAQ. We should see a bounce, but then again, we could also see some selling, because yesterday in the QQQ, you did have it come down and touch that 21 EMA. So that being said, 9 times out of 10, you do see a bounce off that, and it's either going to go sideways or up. You have this bounce into it, and then a consolidation and move. Here you hit below, and then a move up. So we'll see. It all depends on the strength of the market and some other factors. Today reporting earnings is Palo Alto Networks, Okta, and AVGO. So those might be some other ones to keep on your watch list for today. Other than that, I'm going to wrap it up, because this is dragging on, and I'm sure everyone's looking at the market themselves. So hopefully we'll all make some money and be at it again tomorrow. All right, everyone, have a good day.